Hey Carmen, this is the video for me to do my instructional design interview as the final project for IDT 7060. I want to make this really easy. I want to let you know I'm already working on a project proposal to instruct students how to add and subtract fractions and mixed numbers. Let's talk a little bit about the information you wanted to talk about. Let's talk about the analysis part of this project, which is learner analysis, which describes the target audience. So let's talk about that part first. And we'll go ahead and talk about my learner's analysis, the general characteristics. The learners will be between 9 and 10 years old, be boys and girls. They will be 5th graders at campus school. This is my target audience. And it will not differentiate between ethnic backgrounds. The specific entry characteristics, the computer skills, there's a minimal amount of skills. They've got to be able to click a mouse. They must be able to read at an elementary school age ability. This particular module will be colorful, use colors and shapes, and it will be written. These are both good visual pathways to the brain. They must be able to have a basic understanding of number sense, and they will need to have completed the 4th grade education. Their personal and social characteristics, their motivation. Usually students respond well to computer-based instruction. They enjoy working with a new program that improves their attitude, and they do not really require any special talents to be able to be successful with this exercise. I'm going to move over to the contextual analysis of the instruction, and we start talking about the orienting context, the student goals, so they'll understand they use this in class every day. They do desire to be successful students, so this is one goal towards that end. They know this is a school as far as their perception. They know it will be consistently throughout the school year, and their placement in future courses will depend upon how well they score at the end of the year testing. Accountability, they are 100% accountable for their own efforts. Instructional context, you're talking about things like the lighting, which will be the same. It's overhead lighting, same that we use all year. The noise level will be low because it's they're working individually on the computers. The temperature, I have the thermostat by my door, so I can control that. The seating, they'll be in their own seats or used to these pods. It'll be in our classroom. And the equipment will be the laptop and desktop computers they're used to working on already. Transportation won't be necessary because it's right in the school day, and we will not need to worry about lunches or meals, etc. Let's talk about the transfer context. Their access to the resources. So what they'll need is they'll need pencil and paper while they operate this module. But this is the same thing that they'll be able to use after the application of the instruction. So it'll be something they have access to all the time, and they will have plenty of opportunities to practice this. This is an ongoing skill they'll use all year, and I will definitely support them using this, and they will need it for both computational and problem-solving applications. So it's important that they are comfortable with that. I think that covers all the contextual analysis, and now you wanted to talk about how does this fit into the curriculum, okay? And understand that there are specific objectives they have to meet by the end of the year, and there's 2 in particular that I want to make sure that you understand. One of them is to solve addition and subtraction problems involving both fractions and mixed numbers with 80% accuracy, and to be able to add and subtract problems involving proper and improper fractions, as well as mixed numbers with 80% accuracy. They'll need to be able to do both of those, and that requires certain goals, for them to meet certain goals, and that would be adding fractions, subtracting fractions, adding whole numbers, subtracting whole numbers, making equivalent fractions, regroup by adding fractions, regroup by subtracting fractions, convert mixed numbers to improper fractions, convert improper fractions to mixed numbers, and reduce fractions to their simplest terms. All these are goals that they will need in order to be successful in their objectives. And this fits neatly into the state mandated requirements for success in the 5th grade. Let's talk about design and development. We want to talk about the instruction, the activities, the outcomes, and the assessment. And I'm going to talk about learning theory because this really plays into what we've been doing with our ADDIE model as this whole project is worked around. Part of the ADDIE project is the analysis, and that's understanding that you have a group that needs instruction. If there's a problem, there's a goal, there's something you want to attain, so you have to look at all these different aspects of the learner analysis, the environment that it's in, and exactly what the goals and objectives are. And then we start working with the design and the development and how we're going to get there, how the steps are to getting there. And that's part of why I chose to do a PowerPoint. That's the technology I'm going to use in this particular thing, even though it's something as simple as paper and pencil to figure calculations. Understanding the steps are very important, and that's when we start looking at the activities. When it comes up onto the screen, you know, they will be given a problem, a situation, and they'll have to make choices, this choice or that choice, and if it's correct, they'll move on. If it's not, it takes them back, gives them a little instruction, and poses the problem again. There's, of course, a spot where they can ask for questions, they can start over. All these things are in here, and that's where we start talking about the graphics and information design. And that's once again what we learned about, because we have to look at not just the text style, but the shape, the color, the background, and the buttons, and all the little elements that are inside of this. I've worked on to help design the buttons, where they need to place, what kind of writing, what verbiage to use so it's easily recognizable. These are already things that I'm working on my PowerPoint now. I think this kind of talks over, the other thing was the assessment, and I wanted to, as they come to each step, their assessment will be, if they are correct, they will be able to advance and advance and advance until it sends them to a spot where they can practice independently. If they're having difficulty, they have the ability to go back for tutorials step by step and help clarify any misconceptions they have. So I think design and development was helped a lot. And what it made me start thinking about is, you know, how the steps are, what they need to be able to do. And this procedural analysis kind of gives me a break. You know, you adding and subtracting fractions or mixed numbers, you know, you add or subtract the fractions